Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome to our show. We call it Tournament Horse Racing. It's brought to you by Broke Guys Handicapping. And here's how it works. What we've done is we've taken the horse racing calendar and we've broken it up into four separate horse racing tournaments throughout the year. And we'll go ahead and take a look at four individual races on each of those racing days, so to speak. And whoever wins the most money wins that individual racing days tournament. We actually have four racing tournaments throughout the year. We keep track throughout the year. You're actually watching our preseason tournament tonight. So this is the second week of our preseason tournament, and it'll go for 4 weeks, and then we'll go ahead and get into the full racing year. Tonight, I have, as always, my three racing analysts. They're also my really close friends and horse players themselves. So, without any particular order, I will go ahead and start with Ray Torado. He's all the way out in Staten Island, New York. Ray, how you doing, my friend?
Good, doing good. How's you guys Christmas?
You
Well,
know what? It wasn't so bad. It wasn't so
yeah,
great either, and things like that. But you know how my
all right.
story goes.
A good week, Get ready for the good racing. I'm gonna have some Gulfstream and Santa Anita, and the start of Triple Crown. Looking very excited.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and move back just a little bit to the south of me in Temecula, California. An old friend of mine, Joe English. Joe, kind of following up what Ray said, how the holidays treating you?
It's been good, Rich. Pretty quiet, which is kind of nice, Richie. No problems, no worries here.
Nice,
Forward to
nice.
a nice long weekend too.
All right, and finally, last but not least, Steve Newsom. How's it going, my friend?
Pretty good, Rich. Had a good Christmas. Had all all four of my girls out here, so
Hmm,
had a good Christmas.
Nice,
nice.
nice, nice. Welcome. Well, and as you guys all heard, my name is Rich Sharp. I live here in Murrieta, California. Again, our show is called Tournament Horse Racing, and these are our four horse players. We like to kind of give you just a little bit of a disclaimer each and every week. We are just four horse players. We're just discussing horse racing. We are not claiming to be a touting service or in selling our picks in any way, shape, or form. Steve, Ray, Joe, and myself are just horse players who love the game. We hope you do too, and we hope you enjoy our little show that we put together here. It'll be taking you out to Gulfstream Park in Hollandale Beach, Florida. So, without any further ado, I'll go ahead and start sharing my screen with you. I will go ahead and bring it up, and we'll start taking a look at. Well, for one thing, we'll go ahead and take a look at what happened last week, and this was at Santa Anita, down in beautiful Santa Anita, California. I can speak for how beautiful it was because Joe English and myself were actually there. Joe, kind of a wonderful racing day that we had together there. Santa Anita really appreciated it. I think I've told you many years before. Santa Anita is kind of the birth of horse racing for me. That's kind of where my father and my godfather used to take me to go ahead and watch horse racing. And my dad's been passed away now for about 15 years. But Joe English, I have been there a couple of years with you, and that was really enjoyable. We had a great time together.
Yeah, mostly good things. A lot of people, weather played into it really nicely. Racing was pretty good, so all most things considered were really
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, you're taking a look right there. This is the racing tally from last week, and this does happen from time to time here on Tournament Horse Racing. Uh, 20 cents. 20 cents. That's what's going to separate Steve from Joe and a victory here. It's in the preseason. It's not going to count for our total season, but still notable that Steve actually nips him with a couple of victories there at Santa Anita Racetrack. We all had Taiba. Uh, Sans Ray there in the Malibu. And
Most one last.
yeah, Bob Baffert had a big day. He had five victories on the day, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And I only had one of them. I only had the victory with Taibo with everybody else and things like that. Congratulations to Steve. Again, 20 cents does give him the victory and puts him on the lead there for the first quarter we'll only have 3 more races, so we're just going to do Gulfstream Park today, where you'll see the Fort Lauderdale and the Harlan's Holiday. We'll come right back to Santa Anita Racetrack. We'll take a little bit of a break, and then we'll come back for the Fairgrounds Racetrack before the official kickoff to our season begins. I will tell you that is probably not the well, folks, that's not the only big contest that we'll be looking at this week. Let me see if I can bring this up for you so you can see it all here. And I'll share my screen for you. Is that Steve Newsom and myself will be contesting in another big contest this weekend. This is the Fantasy Football League Championship. Our Fantasy League Football Championship League commissioner, by the way, is Joe English, and one of the participants, actually a newcomer to the league this year, one of our what would you call that, Joe? An expansion franchise was Ray Torado.
Yes, yeah.
So
Yeah, yeah, expansion. Yeah.
right, all of the players in fantasy football in Joe's fantasy football league, wherein, by the way, Joe was the runaway champion last year, just so you know, just like he was here in tournament horse racing. But me and Steve are going head to head this weekend in fantasy football. So if you want to weigh in on your thoughts on anything going on as far as horse racing is concerned, or fantasy football is concerned,
Here's my
please,
trophy.
yeah, just go ahead. No, I want the trophy. I'm looking for it. The money's one thing, the trophy's another. So, all right, here we go.
Good luck,
Steve's.
guys.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you, Ray.
If you need my
Thank
homes,
you,
let me
Rick.
know. I'll let him too. That's my only player I have. No
All right,
value.
here we go. All right, Gulfstream Park, and just keep your eyes on Gulfstream Park because when we kick off the initial tournament, or I shouldn't say the initial tournament, the third season tournament, but the initial order of the tournament, it does start down there in Hollandale Beach, Florida. It is one of my favorite tracks, if not currently kind of my favorite track to gamble at during that big winter season meet that you get. It has nudged ahead of Santa Anita. It is a fantastic track down there in Hollandale Beach, Florida. And we're going to start off in race number 7. This is the Sewanee River Stakes, Grade 3. Purse is $125,000. Fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward. And your morning line favorite is right here in post number 1. Oh, I was tempted. I was tempted. Scottish Star, trained by Todd Pletcher and ridden by Luis Saez. 5-2 on the Gulfstream Park morning line. And as is our tradition, go ahead and Steve, you won last week. You're gonna be first up.
Yeah, you don't have to go very far on this one. I'm gonna take the favorite in this race, Scottish Star. Todd Fletcher and Louis Saez on board. Looks like it got nice consistent speed figures and second and prime power there. It's got some success at the distance and on turf. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Scottish Star here.
And we are going counterclockwise. So you're handing off to Mr. Torado. Ray,
All right, Ray.
who do you like in the Sewanee River?
Swanee, yes.
Yeah, Sewanee.
We're on the turf here. I went with number 7, Stolen Holiday. Shug McGahee horse. Um, Alvaro has having a good meet. Um, Battling. I mean Ortiz and the other guys, but he's riding well, and this horse has some speed and some tactical position. He's kind of a little bit of weight there, but he's got 4 wins out of 11, all on the turf. He's got some good figures. Been running a couple of grade 3s, so this race fits her well. Coming off a slight layoff one race since that Keeneland race, come off a layoff, and so I think she's gonna be fresh. Just a matter of how the pace is. Or I'm hoping that she'll be in good position and can get a good run, stay out of traffic. So she's formidable here. Just having crossed the trip makes the race. So I'll take 9-2. Pretty good price for me. And McGay usually does well in Florida. So Stolen Holly for me. Joe
Is it me, Rich?
or
It
Rich?
is. It is.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, just one
Nice read on the
one
handout.
below. Okay, one below for me. Give me the 8 Phantom Vision for Mike Maker and Paco Lopez. Not playing the favorites anymore, at least this week. In most cases, 12-1. Horse has 2 bullet drills the last race uh, at Keeneland, and that last race was he had a wide draw and a wide trip. So I'm going to try and forgive that. But all things considered, it really wasn't a bad race. Splitting the field, finishing sixth, only beaten 2.25 lengths. And Paco has ridden this horse to 2 wins before, both in off the turf races at Gulfstream in last year's championship meet. They were both going 5 furlongs, but I'm hopeful that the horse has shown some good form at a mile and a 16 in front at the race in Saratoga. The non-winners are 3, and then again in the race Keeneland, uh, beaten only 2.5 lengths given the wide trip in a race that Scottish Star was actually in. Scottish Star only beat him a couple lengths, and Scottish Star is going to be 5-2, and Phantom Vision is going to be 12. So give me the 8 Phantom Vision, 12-1 for Paco and Mike Maker. Rich.
I went a little bit outside of you, Joe, and I went to Lady Rockstar and kind of sucking up a little bit here to Brendan Walsh, and you'll see that be a little bit of a theme here with my picks, along with Irad Ortiz. Not showing much of a combination so far this year for whatever reason. They actually are a very good combination. The horse has won 2 out of 3 since she came over to the United States from England. And so this is a turf race. You've got 3 really good turf performances, including one there in the Matchmaker, which was there at Monmouth, where she was the favorite. Has not raced in more than 5 months since then. It looks like, as far as I'm concerned, came over, won those first 2 races as she came in from overseas, and then took a little bit of a break, came back at Monmouth, did not run her kind of a race, and they kind of set her down for her winter break a little bit early last year, and now she's coming back here in, what is basically January of 2023. So 5 months away. I have confidence in Brendan Walsh that he'll be able to train the horse at that weight. Irad Ortiz and him, I think, are a very good combination. The horse is by Frankel, a little bit of a super horse at the point that horse was in her career, or his career, excuse me. And as you see there, that's reflected in the price tag. Anyway, I did go with the number 10 here, Lady Rockstar.
Hmm.
All right, and we're going to go ahead and we'll move along to this is going to be race number 8. They are going 7 furlongs on the main surface. This is the Mr. Prospector Stakes. It is a grade 3. The purse is 125,000. It's for 3-year-olds and upward. And your morning line favorite is in post number 3, and that is uh, Sibelius, trained by Jeremiah O'Brien, or excuse me, Jeremiah O'Dwyer, and ridden by Junior Alvarado, is 3-1 on the Gulfstream Park morning line. And Ray, you're going to get to go ahead and bat leadoff for us here.
All right. I decided to take a horse that's step up in class here. Number 8, Uncle Ernie. He's got a lot of speed, and yeah, there he is.
There he is.
His speed figures are very high from Parks. John Service ships in there. Ira Ortiz leading rider. Well, one of the leading riders in Gulfstream. He's got speed. And speed is dangerous sometimes. This extra furlong could be a little concern. I'm hoping it could maybe race for maybe a half a mile, at least for half, and not get too much pressure. But he likes to win too. I mean, he's 5 out of 10, 9 out of 10 in the money. So it's a good horse. Just stepped up in class here to this you know, and this I like speed. He's come off the layoff, so he's had some good workouts. So he's nice and fresh. So let him roll, and hopefully he can hold off that final furlong, which is always a concern for these sprinters. Going seven. So Uncle Ernie for me, Joe.
I hope you're not expecting 6-1 with Irad Ortiz in the saddle. That's probably not happening.
I'll take 3.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
close. That's I think it's
Beautiful.
going to be a little closer to the reality than 6.
Plus the big class jump. It's hers.
Well, yeah, but
It's a reach.
Irad on horses here in Florida and in New York attracts money like
Yeah.
track does in Southern California.
They bring the
It's almost
suitcase.
inevitable. Yeah, it's almost inevitable. Track.
The
Exactly.
suitcase with the
Yeah, and it's blind money. They don't even look at the horse half the time. I
yeah.
think. I went with the 7 prevalence, which has it on the screen now. Brendan Walsh, Charlie Gaffley, 9-2 morning line. He seems better around one turn. He was a grade 3 winner last spring at Keeneland in the Commonwealth at this very distance to 7 furlongs. Obviously, Walsh and Gaffleone are a good jockey trainer combination. Only 10% over the last 60 days, but that
But
again,
yeah,
60
that's
days
yeah.
doesn't tell you the whole story. Whether they're hot or not is one thing, but whether they're a good combination over a long period of time, I mean, that holds more value even than being hot over a 60 period. But this is one of the angles that I remember Rich telling me. Rich mentioned to me a while back about the horse. The horse ran a terrible race 2 back, and then when they run the terrible race and they get some time off, and they come back and they run a better race, but not that really isn't go time. It's really first race is really just to get them back onto the track. It's a race they need, and really today looks like more like the time that they're going to go for it, try to win. And this guy's got 2 bullet drills. Actually, a bullet drill 8 days ago at Palm Meadows. So I'm going to take a shot that he's going to be able to sit off of Uncle Ray's Choice, Uncle Ernie, and maybe mow him down late like he did in the Commonwealth three back against Long Range Toddy. So give me prevalence in the Mr. Prospector, Rich.
That horse was the talk of the racing world after a couple of shots, I think. Last year, yeah, if
Well,
you
yeah,
before.
yeah. If you see
I remember he
the
went from 1 to 9
first
one
2,
race. He's like, yeah,
yeah,
after his
yeah.
maiden.
Yeah, no, this is, unfortunately, it does happen on this show from time to time. This turns out to be one of those, what Joe said. This is the horse I'm actually on as well. I'm a big Brendan Walsh fan. I'm a big Tyler Gaffleone fan. If you ever watched our show, I'm a huge Godolphin fan. I think I've got their colors all over my house and things like that. So, um, I don't think I could have said it any better, Joe. The horse, if you look back again, right before the Churchill Downs on Kentucky Derby Day, was performing fantastically. Had a terrible performance on Kentucky Derby Day, and then came back off of that 5 months later. This is really the target race. The sires Medaglia d'Oro, 4 years old, Godolphin Racing, Tyler Gaffleone, and Brendan Walsh. Unfortunately, I was not able to get a photo of Tyler last weekend when you and I were together, but I am on the 7 horse. I'm on prevalence. Steve, what do you like
Well,
here?
I'm on the same horse as Ray, Uncle Ernie.
Oh, you know what? I handicapped that correctly. Look at that.
What's that?
I actually thought that would be your horse.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Uncle Ernie, Irad Ortiz on board, John Service.
No, for some strange reason, I thought you might even have a strange story about your Uncle Ernie.
You know what? I don't have an Uncle Ernie,
I tell you know what?
Uh,
but I do like
We all
Ernie,
have an
Bert
Uncle
and Ernie.
Ernie. We all watch
Sesame Street.
Sesame Street. There you
Yeah,
go.
that's
That's
right.
Yeah. As I
we all
say,
have an
I
Uncle.
do like the Rubber Ducky song.
Oh boy, we
I
digress.
don't think I
You
was
know.
far off from it.
Yeah, you weren't far off. I do like the name Ernie, but yeah. No, I'm going with Uncle Ernie. Good speed figures.
Kind of what
Won
you know
last
what
two races
yeah
pretty
I heard.
handily.
Yeah, there was
But
actually
yeah,
that.
again, the
There's
7
that.
furlongs might be a problem. We'll see. It's done it before though.
Yeah.
Over a different circuit.
Get that track to flatten the
New
track,
track.
right? So nice and tight.
Yeah, no. When I was handicapping, believe it or not, Steve, like I said, sometimes I handicap not just the horses but the players themselves, and I was like, well, this is Steve's horse right here. I wouldn't even be surprised to find out that he has an Uncle Ernie. Right.
I
So
didn't know you guys did that. Did
yeah,
you guys do all three of you do that?
find
Sometimes I will.
every once in a while. Yeah,
Sometimes.
I've heard Joe do it because I know
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
got
Oh yeah.
if Chad Brown, Flavia and Pratt are riding, well,
Yeah, exactly.
that's another trigger, right?
That's
Right.
it's like it's a given.
And East
I mean, that's,
Coast,
I just have to look at the entries. I'm like, oh, that's.
yeah. Let's
I
see,
mean, go ahead and put it in that.
and East Coast turf horse racing out here on the West. Oh yeah,
Mm.
that's a big trigger for me.
Right.
All right, here we go. We're going to move along to race number 9, and this is the feature for the day. They're going a mile and an eighth on the turf. It is the Fort Lauderdale Stakes. It's a grade 2. Purse is $200,000. 3-year-olds and upwards. And your morning line favorite is out there. He's in post number 12. Liked him for a really long time. His name is Colonel Liam. Where is it? Put him right there. Colonel Liam, and he's trained by Todd Pletcher, ridden by Irad Ortiz, 8-5 on the Gulfstream Park morning line. And Joe, you're up first.
Anybody think I'm on Colonel Liam?
No.
No, if I was gonna, again,
At least somebody's paying attention.
yeah, exactly. I sometimes
No.
I can handicap us a lot better than I can handicap horses.
Exactly. No, I'm not on I actually, Ray's gonna love my pick. I went way off the reservation. It's a 5. Tango, Tango, Tango.
Oh, there we
Oh.
go.
Ray's
Look
gonna love
out,
it.
man! Look
Oh.
out! 20-1.
Ray's gonna love it because it's Calumet Farm. I know he loves Calumet Farm.
Oh,
But
he
I was
just
like, well, 20
he
to
just got
1.
scratched.
Sisterson and Lapera at 20 to 1. It's funny because Rich, he's one of the East Coast horses that struggled on the West Coast. Couldn't run better than 7th in any of the stakes races that he tried at Del Mar and Santa Anita. But obviously, he's been back in Florida for a little while now, and his form has returned to more normal for him. He's great. He finished second in the Grade 2 dinner party in behind set piece at Santa Anita at Pimlico, excuse me, on Preakness Day, and he's been training steadily. And I think again, this is the third race since he's been back in Florida, and I think he's got a shot to upset this race at 20 to 1. And we know Jack Sisterson's not going to win a big percentage of races, but when his horses win, they light up the board. They put up some pretty big prices up there. So give me the 5. Tango, Tango, Tango. 20 to 1 in the Fort Lauderdale.
wow! All right, you know, a little stunned there. I'm
Not
gonna go.
everybody's awake now.
Yeah. Um, I was gonna challenge you and sit there and say, so do you think I did pick the 12, Colonel Liam, the favorite, because I've actually loved this horse. I looked down at the racing form and thought, wow, you know what? Out of those last 10 those last 10 races, I may have bet him like 7 times, but I didn't go in that direction. I went with King Cause, and he's trained by Michael Maker and ridden by Jose Ortiz tomorrow. Um, he's had, he is a 7-year-old. He's a gelding, and has been around for a little bit of a while. He's owned by Nice Guy Stables, which how nice is that? And if you look, it looks like recently he's kind of gained his form a little bit, and kind of gained his form a little bit in that broke guys handicapping manner and things like that, right? He went from the optional claimer for non-winners of two to a non-stakes race, but let's face it, at Kentucky Downs for $180,000 with 9 of the races, that's probably a stakes race. As a matter of fact, I
Mhm.
think we may even handicapped it because that horse Duke of Hazard seems to ring a bell. And then off of that, he came back and he won the Knickerbocker. And he's by Creative Cause, so the sire is solid. I don't know a lot about that Nice Guy Stables, but I do know about Michael Maker, and being here on the turf with Jose Ortiz. I thought the 10 was worthy of a shot, with Colonel Liam coming off that really, really long layoff from last year in March. So he's been off for, as the racing form there shows you, he's been off for 9 months. Otherwise, I would just go ahead and go with the horse who's been so good to me for quite a while, Colonel Liam. But I'm already down in the little mini tournament that we call the preseason. So I thought, let's go ahead and take a poke, and I went with King Cause. What do you like, Steve?
Well, you can keep it right here. I ended up on Colonel Liam. Just a real solid horse. Yeah, it hasn't raced in 9 months, but it looks like workouts seem to be on pace. And the horses won 3 races out of 4 at the distance, has won 6 on the turf out of 9, and is undefeated at Gulfstream Park. So I can see why he's the favorite. Ray?
Yeah, I mean, Colonel Liam's a solid horse. I mean, he's actually won off layoffs too, so it's not a concern for
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
But the price doesn't attract me anyway for this type of thing. I went with number 7, Seaman. A little bit inside of these guys. Seaman, Christopher Clement, Rosario picks up. Had a win last time at Aqueduct, the Belmont at Aqueduct meet. So he's, now they laid him off a little bit. Now they shipped him down. He's a New York bred, so one of my bloods. Hard knocking horse, competitive. 16 out of 25 of the money, so he's always in the race. You just might have get a trip. This may not be the starting point, but let's see. Maybe he'll have a good. He'll be fresh and get a good race there. And it's a tough race. A lot of horses here, and probably will get a lot of money. And maybe if they're racing for second, maybe I could get a second place here. He still can win too. So he's got 8 wins in his life. So Mr. Clement, good trainer, always gets him ready. So I'll go see, man.
That's a tough race.
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, it's
Yeah, I mean, if you really buy into Colonel Liam coming off the layoff, then that's a simple race. But
hmm
otherwise,
Well, it's funny because I had a couple of concerns about him. One is the layoff, and the other was that this is not the ideal crop. He's not. This is not the big race. He's going after Pegasus turf. Is my
hmm
assumption.
right?
Yeah.
That's gonna,
So
yeah.
I just wonder. I mean, he might even at 90%, he might still be. But with that draw and this race is tough, and this race is
Yeah.
probably not.
I see him
I
closing for
wouldn't take
second
8 to 5 just
and
like this.
getting
Yeah,
ready.
I agree.
A good second. Then we're over there
Like you
ripping
said,
up our tickets,
it's a starting point for his
Yeah.
season. It really is a starting.
He ran well for second. We were tearing up our tickets.
I mean, heck, he could win. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Not at that price, I wouldn't take it.
All right, here we go. This is the finale for our tournament for the day. This is going to be race number 10 there at Gulfstream Park. Again, that's down there in Hollandale Beach, Florida. It will be featured. You will see it when we move on to our first tournament of the year. That one's called the Preps. But this is going to be race number 10. They're going a mile and a 16th on the main track. It is the Harlan's Holiday Stakes, Grade 3, purse $150,000. It's for 3-year-olds and upward. And your morning line favorite is there in post number 1, O'Connor, trained by Safi Joseph Jr., ridden by Edgar Zayas Jr., 8 to 5 on the Gulfstream Park morning line. And up first will be that's going to be me. And again, Gulfstream Park has kind of become my adopted home track, I guess you would sit there and say, all throughout my life, and certainly all throughout the show, handicapping not only with Joe and Ray, but also with Joe and Ray and Steve. The California tracks have always been my primary tracks. In the last couple of years, I have to admit, starting with the pandemic, I guess I would say, Gulfstream Park has nudged ahead, and I seem to bet more money down there in South Florida than I do here combined at Del Mar and Santa Anita. And with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and go with the horse that's in post position number 4, and that's Simplification. If I'm not mistaken, he was the Prime Power number 1. Yep, that's exactly right. He is trained by Antonio Sano and ridden by Junior Alvarado. Uh, I am stretching. I'm going to go on the record and say that to my fellow handicappers and things like that. I am certainly not using the forgive me 7 times, logic here and things like that. But this is a really solid horse. If you look all the way back here, the horse won the Fountain of Youth, and that is the prep race for the Florida Derby. And going into the Florida Derby, if you look at that one right there, the horse was favored. He was the favorite. Got beat by White Albario, which is again a Safi Joseph horse. And then after that, um, in my opinion, ran into some really solid but understandably good competition, right? The Kentucky Derby got it, the Preakness got it, the West Virginia Derby and the Pennsylvania Derby, those are both really solid races. And then following the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile, regardless, the horse has had not excuses, but reasons or logical reasons that you would sit there and say has not faced competition, maybe not as steep as what they face today. So I thought maybe simplification, finally, recovering from what was a brutal 2022 campaign following a good performance in the Fountain of Youth. Uh, Today's your day, simplification. So I went with the 4 horse, and I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to Steve.
All right. I went with the 7, Skippy Longstocking. Probably because I like the name.
You should have had to sing a little song with it. I am skipping along, stopping. I would love
Actually, I
my
think I picked
happy
this horse.
name.
I think I picked this horse last season in one of our races
I am
last
skipping
year.
along,
But
stocking. I am
anyway,
skipping along, stocking. I
yeah,
love,
Irad Ortiz and Joseph Safi.
I love my happy name.
You done, Rich?
Yeah, I could hear it.
Had a nice workout there, Christmas Eve, 47 seconds.
Oh,
but but yeah, no, I'm gonna take Skippy Longstocking here. Rick?
Yeah, me too. Number 7, Skippy Long Stocking. You know, it's funny how you analyzed simplification, Rich, and this horse is very similar too. Like you said, Third in the Wood, Preakness,
yeah.
Belmont, West
You're
Virginia
right.
Derby, PA Derby. So they've been battling monsters. So I think these two probably will go 1-1-2 in this race. So it's a good angle. Class relief definitely in this race. So it's and they both should be fully placed. So it's gonna be and it should be a good jockey race too. And I'll go with Irad over anybody right now. But The layoff concerns me a little bit, but I think Safi Joseph will have him ready. This is the last race for the 3-year-old for him. So the day after, they turn 4. So, but it's a good race. It's one of those races that will attract some good horses. Um, Skippy long stockings for me, Joe.
Goody, I don't have to say much. Same for me. He's the other Sappy Joe. Really, the only thing I can add to what guys. Skippy Longstock.
Wow. All right. Well, and that ironically enough, that's actually going to be a wrap for 2022. Let me go ahead and get these in here for you. Skippy Longstocking is to be the final pick, 2022. Could have just kept singing that damn song.
Thankfully, you did.
Yeah, no, exactly. You guys,
Nothing personal.
thank you. All right. Everybody take a look. Just make sure I got your picks correct.
Yes, sir. Who's
Hmm.
so Ray is the one in column E, right? Put the 7 where Ray's name is.
Oh, did
Oh
I?
yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what? We're gonna call him
You give
7.
me 4 7s, so I win poker.
I'm calling you 7 from now on.
I'll raise you. I got 4 7s.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and come on back to you guys. And for those of you who have hung in there and are watching with us, well, that's how we do it here on Tournament Horse Racing. Uh, and I see Joe. Joe's
Joe's over there
trying.
taunting us
I
right
Yeah,
gotta
now.
give it up.
that's
I
our
gotta give
Uh,
it up.
fantasy football trophy.
There's my name. I gotta
he's
give it
still
up
the champion until tomorrow.
until
Yeah, by
till
the end of the
Sunday.
weekend,
Well,
that's either
Sunday,
going to
end of
be in the
Sunday.
hands of me or it's going to be in the hands of Steve. Who's down here in the
Rich, no, Rich, I gotta
corner?
get the plate put on, so it's gonna be
Oh
a
yeah.
week after.
Regardless, sentimentally, it'll belong to one of
Yes.
us.
I mean, unless
All
you
right.
unless you want to take it over and get your
No, no, no,
I,
no. I won't interfere with you on that. You guys, do you have any final thoughts? This is the final show of 2022.
I do. I
Well, the only thing I would say, Rich, is if you need any fantasy football advice for your lineup this weekend, let me know.
Yeah.
somehow, Steve. I don't think you're gonna give him the best advice. Maybe it's just me. No, I have a thought. I was just glad that handicap races that Bob Baffert won't win. Next, at least dirt races that Bob won't win. He doesn't run many dirt races.
Ray, have you got like anything you want to?
Yeah, I mean, 2022 has presented a lot of good memories, good races, throughout the year. It's been good. I mean, financially, I must say, we hit some good ones, from time to time, and, we had fun with it. And, it's nice to finally get out, to the track with all this pandemic stuff and all these things once in a while to get out, see people and see the races. And, everything's coming back to normal soon, very slowly. So the best part about it is that we get to see horses that we've seen before. Now they become sires and they produce their babies, and we see how they run. And it's an ongoing thing. So that's the love of the sport.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic.
You know?
My
The best part about this show was that Ray was right side up. Right
Yes,
side
I
up.
I corrected my camera. Um, I even know how to fix it too. So
So if it ever happens to us, we
we
know who to call.
right.
Right.
I did the old fashioned. Well, now now it's the new generation. Google. That's how you look for things,
YouTube.
information.
All right. Well, I will tell you guys for personally speaking, this is the last show of 2022. We'll come back next week again, and we'll do it all again, and we'll start over in 2023. And we've got a fresh new tournament to start off with, the Pegasus World Cup, coming up at Gulfstream Park, not too long from now. My favorite part, if I could, of tournament horse racing is getting together with my friends every Friday night. And yes, this is what we do on Friday nights. The four of us take the time out of our evenings and we go ahead and share our thoughts on horse racing with each other and with you. And I really appreciate the friendship. And I always appreciate the thoughts on horse racing. This will go back into my gambling portion of the year. Gulfstream Park really does get the lion's share of my money and my bets these years. And so I do enjoy gambling with all four of you each week. I always say it. It's always a pleasure to handicap with the four of us
Hmm.
together. And I can say this freely. I wish you all to have a wonderful and a happy New Year.
You too,
Right.
Rich.
Yes, you too. Yeah, happy 2023. You know.
And the best part about it is when January 1 rolls around, you know what starts over? You're at zero. You haven't lost anything for the year yet. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Let's be
you're at
baptized.
zero.
Yeah. And
All
to
right,
end the year with a balance is a great thing.
it is. It is.
Money in the account. It's
All
great.
right. On that
Yeah.
note, if you guys don't have anything else to add, I will go ahead and we will sign off tonight on tournament horse racing for 2022. Speaking for Steve Newsom and for Ray Torado and for Joe English, my name is Rich Sharp. Our show is called Tournament Horse Racing. It's brought to you by Broke Guys Handicapping. Good night, everybody, and Happy New Year.
Happy
Happy New
New
Year.
Year.